Okay, today we're going to take a look at factoring a problem like this, x cubed minus 3x squared minus 40x. If you take a look at what I have an x cubed, I have an x, and I have or x squared and I have an x. Here, the first thing that brings to mind is that I can factor out an x. So when I do that, I end up with x squared minus 3x minus 40. Now, this is in standard form. So what I want to do is I want to find how to factor this one out. This one I'll just leave out here. So to factor this out, I'll go ahead and do this, the t-chart. So I have a negative 40, or a times c, and this is b. So I have a, b, and c. So I have a times c, which is negative 40, and b is negative 3. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take a look at two numbers that multiply to give me negative 40. But when I add them, my answer is negative 3. Well, one of the numbers that comes to mind is 8 times 5, and that gives me 40. And so I know that if I have 8 and 5, then I know that if I put a negative here and again a negative here, I end up with a negative 40. Negative 8 plus 5 gives me a negative 3. So these are my two factors that I can factor this trinomial into. So my answer here is going to be x, and then I have x minus 8, and then I have x plus 5. So again, you have to remember that when you multiply a times c, again keep in mind that a is 1 in this case, times a negative 40 is negative 40. And b, again, is your middle term. So again, remember that you want to look at numbers that make up 40. I could have chosen 4 times 10. But if I choose 4 plus 10, there's nowhere near that I can get negative 3. So the only one that really works is this one right here. Okay. All right. The other problem that we're going to take a look at is one where we have 27 minus 6a minus a squared. But here, most students will say, well, I haven't seen this problem before because the a squared is in the back. Well, what you want to do is you want to rewrite the problem. So I have negative a squared minus 6a plus 27. Now this makes my problem a little bit easier to recognize in a regular trinomial. The only difference is that I have a negative here. So what I need to do is I need to factor that out. So I'm going to factor a negative. So here I have a negative that I'm taking out, or factoring. So that leaves me with an a squared plus 6a minus 27. So if you notice, when you factor out a negative, all the signs become its opposite. So plus 7, minus 6, plus 6, negative a, I get a negative or a positive a squared. Okay. Now, once you do that, I can go ahead and go back to your factor tree, or the t-chart. A times c, so this is a, b, and c. So a is 1, c is negative 27, so I get negative 27. And here I have b, which is 6. This is a times c, and this is b. So what I'm trying to look for are numbers that, again, multiply to give me negative 27, but when I add them, my answer is a positive 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at two numbers. I know that 9 times 3 is 27, and if I was to subtract these two, 9 minus 3, that will give me 6. But 9 times 3, they're both positive, but I need a negative, so I'm going to write it as negative 3. And then I have 9 plus a negative 3, that would give me a positive 6. So then putting back into your binomials, I have and again, don't forget your negative, just bring it down. So I have a plus 9, and I have an a minus 3. Okay.